You are watching Travel World Online.
Mr. Subhash Goyal has taken over as chairman of Indian Chamber of Commerce, Aviation and Tourism Committee, from Chandar Mansamrani. Mr. Mansamrani will now be the co-chairman of the committee.
Our focus on travel and tourism, which we all know is one of the biggest employment generators. We have a very strong focus on that, and I think we have all gathered here today on an auspicious day when I think our present chairman, Mr. Chandar Mansamrani, who will hand over the baton today to Dr. Goyal. I think we have had a wonderful journey of 3 years under the chairmanship of Dr. Mansamrani. Tourism industry was probably the worst thing. Tourism, hospitality and aviation were the worst thing during the COVID times. And it was difficult to actually, for a lot of people in the tourism fraternity, to survive. Forget about doing business. A lot of offices had shut down. A lot of people have moved out from tourism sector to other sectors. All kudos, all the great efforts of our tourism committee, led by our chairman, Mr. Mansamrani. We did a lot of meaningful programs, even during the COVID times. Of course, people couldn't meet on the physical mode, but we quickly adopted to the virtual mode. That is how the tenure of Mr. Mansamrani has come to an end, and he is going to pass on the baton today to another man, I think, who needs no introduction to all of you. Dr. Subhash Goyal, probably the most veteran person in the travel and tourism sector in the country, with huge international presence also, and in various areas of the tourism industry. So, before really going further, I would definitely be open to questions at any point in time. But I would really request our chairman, Mr. Mansamrani, to address the august gathering.
On the occasion, Mr. Mansamrani said,
Talking about two sectors. One was an exhibition and the other was on the convention front, where Calcutta has a lot of convention facilities now, even the exhibition, where the exhibition is just the 12% of the total exhibitions which happens all over India. With the same pattern, we will be traveling during this year to other states also, where there is a good infrastructure on both exhibition and MICE, where we will try and convince the state governments to how ICC can be involved with all these state governments, where we can do jointly promote that particular space, which they have created with recent, example of Delhi, which is two major venues are coming up, one in Dwarka, one in Pragati Maidan. In the same way, see other states also, like Geo centers in Mumbai, Patna, if you see the convention center, which is comparatively in Vigyan Bhavan in Delhi. So there are many convention centers, many tourist places are coming up across India. The ICC will be playing a role on two fronts. One will be trying to contact the state governments, where we can try and promote those facilities, whether it's a tourism facility or an exhibition area or in a convention facilities for that particular state. The second, which is more important, what we will be doing in the COVID period, where we have an experience of now what has happened during the COVID period, what government have a lot of initiatives. The Ministry of Tourism has taken out a lot of initiatives where we can come in and join them on the policy advocacy. This is another role which ICC is going to play during this coming year. Yes, as what Mr. Modi says is my tenure was for 2 years, but then I continued for 3 years because of the COVID period. And then it's my privilege actually, and then I'm very happy about where the chairman which is going to take over is Mr. Goyal. who is my mentor also, and then maybe I known him for almost 25 to 30 years, and a veteran in the travel trade. All of you know him. Been involved into many activities, not only with the travel trade, being an ITO president, but with the Ministry of Tourism also. Whenever there is an advisory committee or in a court, and he's always involved in. And with this burst, maybe I'd like to hand over this to Mr. Dr. Goyal.
Chandar and me, we have worked in faith. We were both, I was the chairman of the India Tourism Mart and he was the co-chairman. And I think the event that we organized together for 3 years, 2 years in a row and one virtual, so 3 years, was historical. So we planned something big because I can only do it with Chandar because he's a true event organizer and a professional on mice. So with his help and cooperation, I think we'll be able to do a big event for the India Chamber of Commerce. Taking over after 2 years, Mr. Jindal, I had a discussion with him, and we are going to do a lot of events, right? Not only in Delhi, but also we have planned one event in Rajasthan. We are planning one event in Kerala, maybe Kochi, and we'll be doing one in Eastern India. Eastern India we are always doing. I mean, we are very strong there. And Northeast we are already taking care of. We have chapters in most of the 7 sisters which are there, whether it is Meghalaya, it is Manipur, whether it is Arunachal. Everywhere we have our chambers, representations. And now I need the support of each and every one of you. I see some of you are very important. The French Revolution was started by 7 people, and the Sikhism was started by 5 Panch Pyaras. We are more than 15 out here. So I think we have to start a tourism revolution. Budget also, for the first time, tourism was mentioned in a big way, but it was more of a lip service to tourism. Although the budget for tourism had gone up, but the MDA assistance, which was for overseas, had gone down from 341 crores to 167 crores. Similarly, we had requested the exemption of GST and other taxes based on foreign exchange earning, so that the tourism industry is given the same status and benefit that is given to physical exports. But up till now it is not being done. The finance minister, we were expecting the finance minister to announce a refund of GST or VAT for tourists who are doing shopping, because shopping is one thing which can, create jobs apart from the multiplier effect that tourism has. So in Singapore, in London, in Dubai, and all the countries which think of tourism as an economic activity, tourism as has a multiplier effect on the economy. 1 out of every 9 jobs that are created in this industry because it's labor intensive. Earlier, agriculture used to be labor intensive, but with the mechanization of agriculture and coming of harvester combines, jobs are not left in agriculture. People are migrating into the cities. Similarly, industry has been computerized and mechanized, and now with artificial intelligence, I think in industry also jobs are going to be less. But tourism is one industry where you need a human interface. Tourism, because you cannot have inbound tourism if you don't have outbound tourism, because the airlines that will come, have to bring passengers, and when they go, they can't go back empty. So tourism is a two-way traffic. If we talk about making India a hub for aviation and tourism, then we need both ways. So we were shocked that outbound tourism from TCS, which is tax cut at source, was increased from 5% to 20%. This is unheard of. So what will happen? What will happen? Three things are going to happen. First thing is that a middle class income group person who's a small trader, who's a doctor, a junior doctor, a journalist, any middle class person will not be able to afford the travel or would be able to afford going, into, on nearby tours, package tours. Because where do the middle class people go? Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Dubai, Sri Lanka. So these packages are something which are worth about 70,000 to 100,000 rupees. So for 100,000 rupees, you will have to pay something like 30,000 or 20,000 as additional, tax burden. So result hoga that they will not be able to travel. So secondly, what will happen is people will ask their friends and relatives abroad to buy packages for them instead of the Indian tour operator and the Indian travel agent actually benefiting. Then there are international sites which don't have offices in India, like booking.com. Now, those sites, people will go and the money will go abroad. They will pay by credit card and the Indian travel agent and tour operator will suffer. Services Export Incentive Scheme. इसमें क्या होता था? सर्विसेज एक्सपोर्ट इंसेंटिव स्कीम में जितनी भी हम फॉरेन एक्सचेंज अर्न करते थे थ्रू टूरिज्म एक्सपोर्ट्स, थ्रू फॉरेन एक्सचेंज अर्निंग, उसके ऊपर हमें 5%, 7% कैश लाइसेंस मिलता था, विच वी वर एबल टू एनकैश इन द मार्केट. सो जो हमारे फॉरेन टूर्स थे, जैसे हम ITB बर्लिन या WTM लंदन और यहाँ पर जो हमारे टूर ऑपरेटर जाते हैं, उनको थोड़ा रिलीफ मिल जाता था MDA असिस्टेंस से. MDA इज मार्केट डेवलपमेंट असिस्टेंस. उसमें क्या था कि हमारा टिकट्स रीइंबर्स हो जाते थे. अगर हम बूथ लेते हैं तो उसकी 50% रीइंबर्समेंट हो जाती थी. तो ये जो स्कीम्स हैं, ये स्कीम्स अगर बंद हो गई तो हमारे कंपटीशन में जो चाइना है, जिसमें इससे भी ज्यादा स्कीम्स हैं, तो रिजल्ट ये होगा कि चाइना जैसे एक्सपोर्ट्स में आगे बढ़ रहा है, ऐसे ये कहा जाता था कि चाइना इज द फैक्ट्री ऑफ द वर्ल्ड एंड इंडिया इज द बैक ऑफिस ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. बट धीरे धीरे चाइना भी बैक ऑफिस बनता जा रहा है. यूके और जापान को तो हम अगले 2 साल में, यूके को तो ऑलरेडी हमने टेक ओवर कर लिया है हमारी इकोनॉमी ने, जापान को भी हम अगले 2 साल में कर लेंगे. तो हमारी मेन टक्कर चाइना से होगी. और तो इसलिए ये जो इंसेंटिव्स हैं हमारे फॉरेन एक्सचेंज अर्निंग के, हमारे एक्सपोर्ट्स के इंसेंटिव्स, अगर इनको खत्म कर दिया जाएगा तो हमारे एक्सपोर्ट्स अगर कम होंगे तो हमारा GDP भी कम हो जाएगा. सो ये बहुत जरूरी है. इट इज वेरी वेरी इसेंशियल दैट दिस SEIS कंटिन्यूज एंड जो ये 20% पैकेज टूर पे लगाया है, दैट शुड आइदर बी अबॉलिश्ड और वी शुड पुट अ कैप. जो सुपर रिच है वो 50 लाख का के ऊपर पे आप 20% लगा दीजिए. जो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम मिडिल क्लास के लोग हैं, जिनका बजट ही 1-2 लाख रुपए होता है हॉलिडे पे या हनीमून पे, अब हमारे बच्चे भी हनीमून पे जाते हैं, उनका बजट 50 लाख नहीं होता, 40 लाख नहीं होता, तो वो अफोर्ड कर सके. और उनके लिए 5% भी आपको अबॉलिश कर देना चाहिए. नहीं तो 5% TCS ठीक है, बट 20% TCS नहीं होना चाहिए. I can assure you that I will leave no stone unturned. Mr. Chandan, it's very difficult to go into your footsteps, but I am confident that since you are with me and I had made it a condition I told them, I said, if Chandar continues with me as co-chairman, then only I am accepting the chairmanship. Otherwise, I am not accepting. So I am very thankful to you. I would, from the core of my heart, express my gratitude and sincere thanks for accepting to work with me shoulder to shoulder. And let us together. I am also, we are going to form various committees. That is my vision. We will also form one media committee because you guys also belong in the service industry. And we would like you to be associated because this will be the first chamber which will have a media committee with them. And we will want all of you to get actively involved because you are a part of this revolution. We need to eradicate poverty from this country. We need to, make it the number one country.
You are watching Travel World Online.